Good shot.
Yeah.
Another incredible
Beautiful
live gadwall, and that's an awesome specimen. We are shooting some just lights out incredible birds today.
I got into carving in 1986, so I've been doing it for quite a while. And I got into carving by hunting, really, and was hunting with plastic decoys and really wanted to try my hand at making a few decoys, specifically whistlers, golden eyes, and I made a rig of 3 to throw out in my decoy spread, and that got me fired up when the whistlers came into those decoys. Pretty cool. So from that moment on, I've been carving competitively for a long time.
Left here. There you go. And those are ringers. Oh!
No, what is that? We can little short bill on it. Maybe it's an old tree. This one coming in low here. See it? Is that a coot? Coot? Yeah. Old beast coot.
I never seen it come in, but it's definitely not a decoy.
Oh.
Moving around too much, just swimming. Look at that coot run on the ice. You don't see that too often.
Go boy! Go boy! Oh, double up! No, I was fine. No, you're fine. That was double up Tom Christie. 2 on line 1. Come get him. Gunshot. On the left. Big group, big group. Jump him up. Jump him up, you guys. Woo! 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 Ha! Ha! Woo!
Yeah!
Well, he's
Where he landed, Tom.
Yeah, he's sitting right with Tom's collar.
You guys ready? Yeah.
Good shot. No widgeon still there? Hey, big group at him. Missed that one. When birds are coming, you just go for it. So we're in Missouri visiting the Rogers Sporting Goods folks, and we're with all the carvers. Jamie Welsh is the only one not here. So we don't have Jamie's 3 world championships. We only have 25 world championships in the blind. That's it. Tom Christie has 6 of them. And listen, we just shot a, this is a monster mallard. Like, no kidding. Like, you could pick it up. We'll grab another mallard. But this is an absolute giant. I mean, and look at it next to the widgeon. It's like a little baby. And then we just shot this. Man, this is, like, we shoot them out west, but this is as good as you can get here in Missouri. Look at this. Look at his poker. Like, look at this color. Look at the color. Look at when you get here in the green. Yeah. Tom carved the widgeon, so he knows all about these. And you nailed the widgeon, 100%. And this is a great we're going to get the decoys later and sit side by side and just go
Fun
nuts.
to see him come into those decoys.
Come right into the decoys. So, yeah, we're having an awesome time in Missouri with the Carvers, and we're enjoying ourselves big time here. Look at that. Look at that stud. Woo, that's a good one, huh? Yeah, freaking stud. Like a stud. All right, we'll cut another promo.
What inspires me are waterfowl to begin with. I'm just still in awe of the diversity and the beauty of waterfowl. So a lot of people have asked me, well, why don't you do songbirds and other types of carving? I've just been very satisfied just to try to create waterfowl because there's so much beauty and diversity. And so the hunting background has inspired me to want to create these carvings that can be used by other people in a hunting environment. I know how much I enjoy it, and that gives me joy to think that other people are going to be able to use what I created in their own outdoor recreation. So that keeps me inspired. Competition has kept me inspired for 30 years. I'm a competitive person, and so going head to head with the best in the world is a way to gut check yourself and continue to improve what you do. And that has continued to inspire me in carving.
What's up, it's Mario from Final Approach. A big part of our success harvesting all the waterfowl species on the road is because of our great partner, Federal Ammunition. The variety of payloads, the shot sizes, the speeds we can adapt to changing weather conditions or different situations that maybe call for something different, like if we're shooting 20 gauge speed shock at mallards in the marsh or crows and pigeons in Europe, how about 3-inch black cloud at some big honkers in a cornfield? Or some TSS at some giant prehistoric sandhill cranes in the flatlands. Federal has an ammo to make your days in the field more successful. So all you gotta do is check them out, federalpremium.com. It's Federal Ammunition.
See that?
Oh, look at that. And then there's the other one.
Probably another
There's
one
4 on that. We're talking widgeon with Tom Christie, who did our live widgeon, also did our pintails, also did our gadwall, also has done a bunch of other stuff, the new honker, full bodies. A lot's going on with Tom and some other secret things coming, but we're not going to talk about that.
Can't talk about that.
Can't discuss. Widgeon, I mean, one of my favorite birds, and this one, shot a couple this morning. This one obviously is not as great as this one, but when we talk about the widgeon, you know, we'll pull in Tom's decoy, and the hardest part, there's no doubt, we talked about it, it's this color. So hard on a mass-produced bird. You know, it's so hard to get this rosy brown. I don't even know what you'd call it, right?
Yeah, kind of dusky rose.
Right, dusky rose. Yeah. That sounds like a song.
Yeah,
right.
Make a good song.
So we're always trying to play catch up at the factory level, the manufacturing level, to keep it as close to what the carvers do, because they do such a great job. There's 28 world champions between all of them. Tom's got 6, and we're always trying to like just stay close. So, I mean, look at this, like the bill, we're trying to get this face color, you know. I mean, and this face color changes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have some super white ones,
right.
You know, they'll call them like a storm widgeon. You'll get like super white, and it just depends on what's going on. But we have this, there's just a little bit of blue in here. It's so hard to see, and then you have the green iridescent as you come through the head.
And the carving there is kind of a challenge to get a production paint job
Correct.
to come off with those markings.
Correct. This white changes too. Some are a little dirty, some are whiter, some are creamer. This one's more cream.
There's a lot of
You know what I mean?
variety there.
This one, this one's like cream in the front, and then it goes white and dulls back. But you know, like you were saying, even up here, you know, that little stain,
A little
like
darker
you call it,
right there at the
right? I mean,
notch of the bill.
every little detail we can throw into this, we do. You know, then you get to the back, and I think hardest thing to do on a mass-produced bird is this vermiculation.
Right.
I mean, this is like, I mean, look at this. You guys can carve this in, which it's carved on the decoy, but painting it is on a mass-produced bird is almost impossible.
Yeah, on a decorative decoy, you
Right.
can hand vermiculate, but on a mass-produced, about all you can do is comb that vermiculation in.
Right, and then
And
just
they're
add
doing a
some
nice
color,
job.
and add some color, add a little black to it, you
Yeah.
know, and rub it in, and get that paint, you know.
We
as
exaggerated
clo-
these feathers a little bit so they
Right.
project from a distance.
Right, and then we start moving back. You know, we start moving back, and that's where it gets cool too, because you have these feathers here that are black with white around it, and then you get that iridescent green. And I actually pulled one out. Like, you could see the iridescent green in there. I mean, every little detail that we could throw on this bird is in there. Iridescent green right here, because it's right here. And then honestly, you know, you usually don't see these white because this is covering it up, the wingtips, right? But look at this. I mean, and this is a stud.
Yeah,
I mean, this is, I mean, look
beautiful
at the points. I mean, look at the points.
They're
Like,
not
this
frayed
is,
at all.
oh my God, like this is an ultimate bird. There's no doubt about it.
So my process from start to finish, I really need inspiration to get going on a project, and I get that by either specimens that I have from hunting that might inspire me to, oh, this is beautiful, I gotta make a carving, or a lot of internet picture searches, and I'll go through literally 10,000 pictures to find maybe 10 pictures that really I feel like give me a spark of inspiration. And then I whittle that down and make a pattern. And I use Tupelo wood. The painting process I really enjoy. The carving is fun too, and I like the way you split up the two different things. And I paint with acrylic paints, and that's kind of my process for creating a decoy.
You know, if you're old school, it was like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. So we're doing Tom Christie's Neighborhood today.
I'm glad to be in this neighborhood.
This is my favorite neighborhood out of all the neighborhoods, right?
I could hang in this neighborhood.
Yeah, 100%. So we've been talking decoys because we got the carvers on our trip, and we're hanging and we're just doing stuff. And holy God, Wayne yelled redhead because he wanted to see my head explode, but it wasn't. But it was a Gadwall Drake. So, but another bird, very hard to paint because of all this
a lot of
vermiculation
subtle
and
stuff
and
there.
and everybody's like, oh, just gray ducks, brown and gray, and I'm like, yeah, but there's so many different shades of this bird that it goes crazy. That's right. Look at right there. Like, we almost can't even do it justice because look at these feathers again, like we talk about the widgeon. Look at the vermiculation. Like,
Right.
you can only do so much on a mass production decoy,
combed that
you know,
area.
but then you get this, and then you have this little gray patch right here that's right here. You know what I mean? So when he's tucked, like, that's what we're shooting for right there. And then you have the black, and then you have the white, and then you come back to the black back here, and then you get to this section, and you get these super bright gray, you know.
Beautiful tertials.
Oh my God.
And this velvety black.
Oh yeah, yeah. And
Covers.
then look at when we get all the way back here to the tail. You know what I mean? And you get that when they're all squished, and you get that going, and then you get to the head, and man, it's so hard because there's so many different and
There's a lot going on there, and it's hard to make it look subtle.
correct, and other variations too, different birds. Like, you're not going to get, I mean, this isn't the same
Right,
every
right.
single time. I mean, Mother Nature doesn't just crank them out like, you know, but the vermiculation through here is
Talk
so
about,
hard.
yeah,
But look at,
Those
I mean,
lacy breast feathers.
I mean, we're trying to get as close as we can, you know, on this plastic surface and this bird, and just the the vermiculation through here is just absolutely lights out. You know, and then you get top of the head and you get darker. You know, I don't know if you'd call that a, I don't know if I'd say it's like
Kind of a burnt umber with a little bit of a rust.
Yeah, and then
color
look
in
at,
it.
and then we put that in there.
Yep.
So, you know, and then that bill, and of course his mouth is open, you know, so we got his mouth open, so he looks like he's a feeder, or he's skimming
We want
the
to show
water.
A little of that
Yeah.
bright color of when the mouth is open.
Yeah, and we want to, you know, you want to have that contrast, and you're skimming. You know, even look at right here. You know what I mean? Right where it transitions. So, I mean,
There's some feathering in
man,
there.
we're like I said, we're always trying to compete
proud
with
of
you
that. It
guys
looks
and
good.
compete with Mother Nature. You know, another incredible
Beautiful
live
bird.
gadwall. Just, and that's an awesome specimen. We are shooting some just lights out incredible birds today. The feed on these always get me too.
Yeah.
I love it.
Timing on a typical carving is kind of difficult to say because it depends on the nature of the carving. When I'm doing a full-blown carving, like for Final Approach with all of the detailed grinding, you know, I'll start out and probably spend a few weeks developing a pattern and working with Mario back and forth on what do we want this to look like when we're done. And then the carving itself, probably 2 to 3 weeks on that, again, depending on what is happening. And then the painting itself, probably another 2 to 3 weeks. It's very quick to block paint things, and you can get that done relatively quickly, but to get this level of detail that we want, there's a lot of planning involved in how are we going to get that paint job done in a manufacturing plant. So a lot of planning goes into what colors are we going to use, what layers are we going to use, and how are they going to have to paint this to be able to mass produce it. You know, when you're carving a goose like this, there's a lot of surface area there. All of these feathers are individually carved. So that takes a significant amount of time to generate a carving like these. And there's no shortcuts, that's right. The traditions of waterfowl hunting are important to me, and maintaining and passing on that tradition to younger people are important to me. But I think being able to create something with your hands that's going to outlive you is something that I'm passionate about, and it's a part of that legacy that I want to leave for my kids and for future generations. If you're a hunter, I would really encourage you to give it a try, because there's no bigger thrill than making something with your hands, throwing it out there with your plastic decoys like I did when I got started, and seeing birds come into those decoys. That'll inspire you to, I want to do this again. Start somewhere. There are great resources out there. I've got books, Pat Godden's got books, and then seek a carving club that's close to you. That's what I did. I started with a library book, and that got me so far, but then I joined a carving club, and there were tons of people that wanted to help me get started, and that's how I got going.
I'm not sure. We're gonna see now.